Shall we do this? I think we shall. Hello, folksicles. Look, the kids have gone up and they haven't shut the door. Oh, yes, they've gone up. It's calm. It's quiet. It's Sunday night. Mel's looking a little bit gruff. Yeah, I've had a lazy one, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, I'll have to clean myself up. Yeah, ready for the weekend. Well, not the weekend. We've had the weekend. It's been that good of a weekend, hasn't it? Right. I see comments. Who's here? Where are me buttons? There's me buttons. Right. Who've we got? Ta-da. All hail the Mel. Hello, insane. Right. God, there's loads of you. Baptiste, Rolf, Black Dog, Piston, Dave, Max, Carbon, some Russian dude, War, Ramus, Justin, Ant, Cat, Warped, Larissa, Rivaldo, I think that's right. Brian, Turtle Tax, I like that. Dan Random, Sean, 3 Yodas. Oh, there's too many. Right, this is getting a bit out of hand. There's too many of you lot. So how are you? Me, but in hospital. So, slow typing. Hope you're alright, Larissa. Hey, Jeff. Lord Barclay the Third. Evening, dude. Hey, Jace. Hello, Diggy. Laugh. Atoll. Cosmo. Jace is already doing his thing. The form is open. We are taking questions. It is our question and answers panel sort of show, isn't it? That's the idea anyway. Plus, sort of, you know, the random chit chat. Let's mob Mel with comments. Don't be doing that, Diggy. Cheers, what? Hey, killer. Those trenches are looking awesome, by the way. Can't wait to see the 4th video. Me neither. They are coming together, aren't they? I had an interesting thought about the trench, yeah. Me and Kez were lying in bed last night and she says, you're in a world of your own. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to trash the trenches when I get into the studio on Monday. Is that as close as you come? Have you actually made me a picnic of munchies? She's good, isn't she? Oh, you brought the dogs in. Get out.
Come on.
Go on.
He's like, yeah, but Dad's got brownies, Mum.
I know.
I'm seeing how sorrowful he was.
The dog's gutted because he hasn't got munchies. Yeah, the trenches, they're coming together, but I was looking at them and I was looking at the fire pit on them. And the idea of putting the vision ports on the fire pit was a late addition. Yeah, because it was a user suggestion. And it works well on all the other trench bits, but on the on that particular bit, the ground, the amount of sort of ground space I have to work on is very narrow, which has resulted in like quite steep earth piles with the planking across the top. And they don't take sandbags and they don't look right. So I'm just going to go in, get my blade out on Monday, carve into it, rip them all out. Yeah, re-daz, retexture, re-milliput. I reckon I can do it in about an hour. So it'll probably take about 3. Food poisoning, thrown up badly and severely dehydrated. Oh, I've been there. I know what it's like to be channel tunneling. Right, look after yourself, Larissa, yeah? And don't feel like you have to contribute to the conversation. We know you're here, Duck. Yeah, and don't worry about your spelling. If you're that ill, I wouldn't bother going back and correcting mistakes. Just cracked the first tree. Nice one, killer. Mel, I'm undertaking my first modular table take. I'll have a question or two for you momentarily. In the form, mate. See, I was having this idea, yeah, with that form. I haven't really got round to it, but I wanted to make these live shows more useful. And we get asked a lot of questions on the form. And what I was thinking is I could record answering the questions and then do, you know, every month or so do a single sort of roundup show you know, of the best questions, the thoughts, maybe a bit of bounce back from what you guys are thinking. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Because I'm answering the questions anyway. You know what I mean? It's just restructuring it and putting it in a nicer format without all the highs and all the palaver with all the kids. Hey Jez, I'm going to convert this old poo table into a battlefield. Any suggestions? No? Fill the holes? Make sure you block up the pockets? What's a good way of stopping trees from shedding? Sealing them, mate. Either watered down PVA or some sort of hairspray cum spray lacquer. Yeah, it really depends on what you glued your foliage down with. If you've glued it down with anything PVA based, you need to use a spray based lacquer. If you've glued it down with like super glue, latex glue, something like hobby tack, that sort of stuff, then you can get away with using watered down PVA to seal it. You can't use watered down PVA to seal foliage on trees that have been stuck with PVA, because when you put the watered down PVA on your foliage, it soaks the original PVA, reactivates it, and everything falls off. And I know from experience. I called it my autumn scene. Oh. Mel, in your spare time? Yeah, well, yeah, that was one of the other issues. It comes back to this thing where I've done because I was doing a lot of back house stuff, yeah, tail end of last year, a lot of learning editing, setting and organising studios. A lot of the videos that I did weren't terrain, they were more talkies, the terrainiacs showcase, stuff like that, because when I was busy in the studio doing the non-terrain stuff, I could make those at home, if you know what I mean. And they're good videos, but I want to get back to terrain and make that the staple of the channel, because I've got everything nailed down with now and we're back into it. And so yeah, it's an idea to do, and I think I'm going to refine it, get the vision a little bit better and that sort of stuff. And then hopefully from that, yeah, we'll give it a play and see if I can come up with something when I have a little bit more playtime. Mel, do you have a video on workbench organisation? No, mate, I'm the worst for it. I have this sort of rule, yeah, where whenever I do a project, okay, yeah, I clean up twice. Tools, materials, everything, twice in that entire project. Now, if that project is something like the D-Day board, which went spread over, I think, 3 months, I cleaned up twice in that. And let me explain the reasoning behind this, okay? It's quite simple. When I'm building a project, let's say build to getting ready to paint, okay? During that process, I'm constantly breaking bits off, working things, yeah? And I don't want to go to the, I don't want to go to the constantly walking to the bin to put a little bit in. So I just throw it on the floor. Okay, same with sanding, all that, just brush it all off. Don't bother cleaning it up, just keep going. Because, you know, no point cleaning up, because you're going to be doing something that creates more mess anyway. And then once I get to the end of the actual build stage, before I start painting, I need to get rid of absolutely all the dust, all the particles, all that sort of stuff. And at the same time, all the tools I've been using, I leave out on my workbench right next to the project until it's finished built. So I know they're there. Yeah. And then once it's all built, yeah, I sort my tools out, I clean it all up. Yeah. And at that stage, the painting tools come out, the paints come out. And I go through this similar sort of fashion of not cleaning up or doing anything until it's sealed. Oh. I just got myself a spray sealant for trees. It was horrible, and now my work area and the gaming table reeks like there is no tomorrow. Oh, dude, do it outside. Ah. At all. Later, nerd. Oh, let me check how the questions are going. I've got a button for that. 5 so far. We've got a few. We need a few more before we get stuck into the questions, I think. So, yeah, that's basically what... Oh, pardon me. Right. Now, yeah, the trenches. Did you like them? Do you know that series was only supposed to be 2 videos? It's just supposed to be a basic construction video and a little bit of a basic painting and flocking video. Yeah, I reckon 4 videos. I don't want it to be 5. I really don't. But I've got to go in. I'm doing a bit of redetailing, so I'm going to skip through those bits on the video and then get concentrating on the flock in the ceiling. I've got to go in tomorrow and make some forms as well. I'm not even sure if they're called forms. What do you call the blocks that you use to make sure, you know when you got like big blocks and you use to make sure that things are like straight and level on sides and stuff like that? What's the technical name for them? I mean, I've used them plenty. I've made them out of Lego, but what's the technical name? Ah, Killers reply to join the terrainiacs group. If you don't know about the terrainiacs group, yeah, awesome collection of gamers, yeah, of hobbyists, should I say, and gamers, yeah. It's basically everyone who's sort of building terrain off the back of these videos and a load of other people who've jumped on from Facebook. And it's really nice. It's a great community, really supportive, great for ideas and advice. Links in the description, guys. Five vids on the trenches sounds fine. 4 vids. Sometimes you go so fast. Do I, Bill? Squaring blocks? Forms? It is forms, isn't it? I was right. I thought it was forms, but I've always come across the term forms within shaped forms. You know what I mean? For like, you know, when you do like sanding polystyrene to get curves on it and that sort of stuff. So you'll use like the inside of a bit of like drainage pipe and put your sandpaper to it so it's round so you can, you know, get nice smooth. Yeah, but I wasn't sure if the squaring off blocks were forms as well. Engineering blocks made from high steel. Oh, I love a set of those. 5 videos would be interesting for the trenches. See, the thing is, if I stretch it to 5, I don't think there'll be enough content. So I think I'm just going to have to end with a bang. Anthony, it really isn't your week, is it, mate? Carpenter square, 1, 2, 3, block set square. It's a question, isn't it? I mean, a set square, we know what a set square is, but they're not really set squares. I'll record how I'm putting them together and whack a video up for you. It'll be a good video for Tuesday, to be truthful. Better than the talky one. I was just going to do one talking about, you know, plans for the channel and that sort of stuff. But no, I'll sit down when I'm making them tomorrow. Engineering blocks can be had from Amazon now. Can they? The roots come from the tree. Oh, Oscar. Leave them in a well-ventilated area to cure, mate. Jigs? Are they jigs? So we've got a real discussion now, haven't we? What are they called? We need a woodworker. That's what we need. A woodworker would know. Nice one, Max. I started my building and foam board. I follow your method. Nice one, dude. Quick question about the trenches, just from a history point of view. During the First World War, how did they get the horses out of the trenches? They didn't. They left them to rot. I mean, I've heard stories of literally trenches being repaired with the bodies of the dead and having like arms sticking out behind the temporary boarding and that sort of stuff. Can you imagine that? If you're having to serve in a trench and your mate's arm is sticking out the wall where you've used him to sort of secure up the trench. Mel, how horrible is that Nurgle dice pouch? Very, mate. That's disgusting. He was using 1, 2, 3 blocks. Right. We call them jigs in the USA. Mal, check out Architectural Builder on YouTube. Will do. Odin, dues paid. Alright then, I'll check that in a little while. I hadn't even thought about. I was just relaxing with you guys. Jace will be giving me grief soon. Like that wall of corpses from the 800 movie. Wasn't that 300? So yeah, you see, it got me distracted. So I don't know what they're called. So I don't know what to call the video. What do I title them? Here's how to make... I don't know what they're called. Making... Well, you decide. And put a poll on it. What are these called? This is Sparta. No, this is Stoke. Blocks with all the holes in them. 1, 2, 3 blocks. Formwork. We've got formworks. 1, 2, 3 blocks. A thingamajig. I'm just going to put a poll on the video. I've got to make them, so I might as well make a video on how I'm making them. If that makes sense. Yeah, might as well share it. I won't put it out as a Patreon video because it won't take. There'll only be a couple of hours work in it. But if I'm doing it anyway, I might as well do it. And then that gives me, hopefully, next Saturday's video should be the end of the trenches. Assuming they're dry and everything in time. Otherwise it'll be Tuesday. Deformed Legos. Whatchamacallit? Mel, I've had some issues with the stair pieces on Sarissa terrain. Any advice now to keep them alive with the opposite fittings? Yeah, use super glue. Glue all your steps into one side first. Yeah, and when it's completely set, then put on the other side. Don't try and assemble them and put them together as a single unit. They really need a brace bar across the back at the bottom corner. If the steps are there to the plat, it needs a brace bar there. But that's how I do them. I just stick them up, put it where I need it. A little bit of super glue. Yeah, and once one side's stable, the other goes on fine. Making a thing should get loads of hits. Striking hand. I don't really do it for the hits. I know that sounds crazy, but I see my videos as more a reference library than trying to do popular vids. You know what I mean? I don't follow trends. I don't follow latest game releases. And that I don't jump on bandwagons. Instead, I have a load of a load of topics I need to cover, and I'm slowly working through them. And we do what we do at the time because that's what we need to be doing. I mean, it's like I do videos like tent substructures and roof tiles, technical videos, and trust me, they don't get loads of hits. I'm not going to get YouTube famous with any of those. I don't even try to get YouTube famous, to be perfectly honest. YouTube has this recommendation of things you should do in a video. It should be so short, and all these sort of things to be successful. I don't do any of them. It's like, no, I'm going to do this because this is what I need to do to show you the terrain. So, I'm not really worried if it gets loads of hits. If it helps some people, that'll do. So that means we're really close to a castle. Well, actually, yeah, we're not far off. Because I've started doing the medieval stuff. You know, I've started filming the medieval Let's Make series. The question is, what sort of castle? Because, I mean, are we talking a full-on castle or a Motte and Bailey? I mean, I'm talking for the end-of-level boss for the medieval series. Yeah, man. Must be hit for asking Kez for more sandbags. It wasn't that. Telling Kez I was going to break the sandbags off and throw them away. Mel, I don't seem to be able to find foam board. Is there a way to make it using 5mm HDF? Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit harder to work as a material, but same techniques apply across the board, mate. No, Oscar. No. You see, I quite like not, you know, getting viral videos and stuff like that. I know it sounds strange, but sometimes it's quite nice just to stay in your own little community. Do you know what I mean? I mean, there's, where is it? The Lad Mag or something like that. Uni Lad or something like that. It's a big popular Facebook page. They reached out to me, yeah, asking me if I'd build a wall, yeah, the wall from Game of Thrones and film it for them, yeah, and it was like, oh yeah, that'd be fun, and it was like, I reached out to them, but by the time I got back to them, they'd obviously reached out to a few people and they got someone else to do it, yeah, and I was really gutted over it, yeah. And then probably about a month later, I spotted on their Facebook page, Unilad, I think it is, yeah, this Game of Thrones wall. And okay, I mean, it was. I don't know the budget, I don't know the time frame, and you know, it was okay. You know, it wasn't anything outstanding. But I'll tell you what, looking at the comments underneath it on Facebook. Yeah, when you leave the hobby community. Oh, they were brutal. And I was like, yeah, you know what I mean? Says the man with, what you call it, 76. Have I got 76 now? 1,000 subs. Yeah, I know. I know it seems strange saying that. How do you even put that in context, Bose? It'd be very easy if you did more viral videos for that number to be a lot bigger, you know. I have views to what you call it, views to subs. I convert roughly 1 in 100. Yeah, new views to the channel. That's the way it works. And ratings wise, that's okay. You know, it's a good conversion rate. It's not too bad. It's not brilliant. Yeah, and the way you get you more subs is you get you more views. Thing is, the way you get you more views is going outside the community, yeah. So instead, I've just plodded along, and people have liked me enough to, you know, consider subbing. Lad Bible, yeah, that's them. Mel, you not jumping on popular games is great, and it keeps your videos as clean, easy reference on how to do stuff, and not how to build this sparkling new kit. Yeah, Blamby, that was very much the mind frame. Also, jumping on bandwagons. I think that the moment I decided that I didn't want to jump on bandwagons was probably the first bandwagon that really came along in my YouTube career, which was Age of Sigmar. Yeah, it was when it happened, because anyone who knows anything about GW will know Age of Sigmar caused such a fury on the internet, and everyone was publishing about it. And whenever I went anywhere on Facebook, anywhere online, all you got was Age of Sigmar, Age of Sigmar. This, it's great. It's gonna destroy it. It's good. And it's just like, I don't want anything to do it. And I think that was the point where no bandwagons. If a game comes along that I genuinely like and I want to play it and I want to make terrain for it, then I mean, engaged, and I probably will, but not simply because the bandwagon is passing, yeah, because I bought a ticket anyway, you know, and I'm getting on that bandwagon, so I might as well do videos on it if I'm going to be doing it anyway. You know what I mean? Build the entire wall. Medieval ender level boss. What was that comment? I missed that. Oh, I completely screwed that. Castles. I was actually chatting to Shadiversity about it, about castles. He's got some good castle vids. Or is it matriculations? He's as bad as DMG with his like button. I recently abandoned video games for tabletop. Felt like my mind was just melting away. I like video games, to be truthful, but I use them as a distraction, as a quick and easy distraction from tabletop, because as you can imagine, tabletop is a significant amount of my daily life, yeah, and so the only thing I don't like about computer games is I always feel like they're wasted time. You know, when I do terrain and stuff like that, I feel like I'm improving in skills and I'm making things, and when I'm doing videos, I'm contributing and I'm helping other people, you know. Yeah, when I play computer games, it's just, I might as well just be stood, yeah, in a corner, you know, fumbling for how productive that time is. Matriculations! That's the one. Shadows are hilarious. Is there a way to fix foam board after you've already put terrain on it? Yeah, turn it upside down and paint it. Paint it with PVA. Yeah, you literally just turn your base upside down, yeah. And you can do this on MDF and all sorts, yeah. If you get any scatter pieces where the base warps once it's actually built, turn it upside down, paint raw PVA, yeah, and then lay it on some, on some bubble wrap, yeah, sort of level. The PVA will dry, yeah, the PVA will shrink, and it will warp it back straight again. Works every time. If it doesn't pull it all the way back, remember you can put more than one coat on, mate. I know this because I've got to do it on my trenches. I've got about, I reckon, a mil warp on either side of one of the long pieces, and I'm not having that, so I'll PVA it. No, the video games will rot my brain. Yep, okay. Tabletop offers me a tangible outlet for creativity. Not just that, tabletop, therapeutically, it's incredibly rewarding. Nonconformist, no bandwagons. But then again, that's me, isn't it? For a squaddy, I'm pretty non-conformist, not conformist. Yeah, I mean, it's like the YouTube thing. I know what sort of videos and how I should do my thumbnails and what I should say and what sounds I should use and how I should edit to make really good, popular YouTube videos. Yeah? And I don't. But what about dragons? We have to think about dragons. Shad doesn't. Turns out he's played a little bit of Warhammer. Fight the Walk was one of your best vids, Mel. Our little grey knight vid. There's a lot of good information in that vid. Considering it, in all honesty, it's just me in front of a whiteboard. Yeah, there's a lot of good information in that vid. It's the sort of information that you only get through experience, you know what I mean? Or watching the vid. Your medieval tutorials might be extremely helpful for us railway guys, especially the houses. Well, we'll just do what we do. First one isn't going to be a house. I'm going to do a burial mound. I used to play in burial mounds as a kid. So I want to do I want to do a cool burial mound. What have I missed? Not much. We're just chatting. First half hour in. Best defense against dragon is bigger dragons of your own. Very true, Bill. Most useful tutor video in a long time. Dude! Really? I did that before I moved into Spode, or before I did the D-Day board. What are you saying about the rest of the videos since then? Do Winterfell. See, I struggle with IPs. I don't want to get sued or copyright claims, so I don't like doing specific things. I do a lot of storytelling with two mates. We're professionally shonky. I've seen Shad's video on fighting dragons. Welcome, Wolfgar. First time watching. Welcome aboard, buddy. Or that crossbow thing from Game of Thrones. Wasn't that from Lord of the Rings, though? Would love to see you make terrain for my game. Would be a dream, as it's just me. There's quite, to be perfectly honest, mate, there's quite a few game builders who'd love to see me make terrain for their games. Depends if I'm interested in it. The rest of your vids are nice too, Mel. Thanks, Bill. What the target down to at the moment? Oh, Jay's jumped. Oh, we haven't. I don't think we've even got the target up, have we? The first video I saw was the one on acrylics, I think. Then binged the rest. I think my videos appeal, yeah, to... my videos appeal to a couple of people. Yeah. And it's through design. Yeah. First off, my Let's Makes. My Let's Makes appeal mainly, yeah, to people who want to build terrain to play games, who aren't terrain builders. Yeah, because that's what they were designed for. Okay. Now they are of interest to terrain builders because what I always do is I simplify the simple steps, and then whatever the technical bits, yeah, to do whatever that piece of terrain is, that's where I go in depth. And so terrain builders, you know, generally, you know, I know you terrain builders, you know, I see you commenting, and you all pretty much comment on the same, you know, intricate stuff in each vid, like, yeah, that's nice, or how about this, or what about that, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's sort of dual purpose, but the Let's Makes are more aimed at, you know, getting people who just want to make terrain, and that's off the back of a comment someone once gave me. Yeah, that when I only used to do these more technical videos, someone just turned around and said, I don't want to watch 12 hours of videos to learn everything I need to know. I just want to watch one video that shows me how to do it. And it was like, yeah, that makes sense. So that's where the Let's Makes come from. And then you've got the technical stuff. Now, the technical stuff isn't really of interest to the people who are, what do you call it, just generally looking to make odds and sods for their table. You know, it's a bit in-depth for them. You know, some of them catch it if it might be relevant. But you terrain builders really love that, and you model makers really love that. Yeah? And so it's sort of dual purpose. And then we've got the projects. And I think the projects basically appeal to absolutely everyone. Yeah? And not because of... Yeah, and I'm not just talking about, you know, the gamers or the terrain builders, but people who have no interest in terrain building whatsoever. Because the projects are always sort of... It's an adventure. It's like Monday, I'm going in. I'm going to be ripping chunks off my trench board, trench board to redo them. You know what I mean? It's like, it's that adventure we get, isn't it? He's doing a chaos conversion. Eh? What? I thought you said that he's doing a chaos conversation. So, Mel, what's coming Tuesday? Can you give us a preview? I don't know what's coming Tuesday. They're going to be shapes that help you get straight lines. Okay? We don't know what they're called. What's your male to female viewer ratio? Ooh, that's rather a personal question. I vary. I'm roughly about 20% is female. Yeah. Main demographic is, I think, sort of 25 to 35, 35 to 45 are my biggest sort of peaks, and then you've got a sort of a banking down going younger and older of my audience. Love the train labs. Yeah, some people love the train labs, some people don't, you know, but the train labs are there to provide, it's like they provide the foundation. You know, it's almost like when I say things, it's nice to be able to say them from a place where I've proven that's the case and this is why I do it. With a lot of stuff with terrain making, people say, do it this way. And it's like, all right, well, why do you do it that way? Yeah. And the train labs, whenever I'm using something new and I'm not 100% sure on it and that sort of stuff, I like to be able to come from a position, one, where I've done it enough that I understand it and I know it. But also, there's not video evidence as such, but I can point other people to, look at the terrain lab, this is why I do it this way. You mean a ruler? Not exactly, Anthony. Has anyone seen Garrison lately? I've seen him posting online, I haven't seen him in the chats. No worries, guy. Terrain labs are like Mythbusters for terrainiacs. Yeah, I like that. I mean, terrain labs are one or two things. Either it's a material that I've never really played with before, and so it's like, all right, let's figure this out, and I'll take you along on the adventure, and you get to follow along like the thought processes as I work it out. Because I figure if you can follow along the thought process and how I think when I approach new materials and see how I do it, then if you come across a new material, then technically you can do the same and see, you know, work that material out for you. Or it's like, you know, is hairspray a good adhesive? All right, let's properly find out. What if I'm all three, terrain builder, model builder, gamer? Then you better be a patron, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to bully you. Sorry, mate, but technically, if you're all three, a terrain builder, a model builder, yeah, and a gamer, you're nailing my videos. And come on, that's got to be worth $1 a month, dude. The terrain labs have saved me so much time and exposed me to new ideas on how to adapt. Excellent. Mantic have released some terrain that definitely isn't 40k or Necromunda at all, honest. Worth a raid, I reckon. Why? What have they released, Chaz? I know we've got Terrain Crate coming. Oh, are you talking about the Star Saga stuff? Is that out? I use a carpenter square, a T-square for squaring up. Mel, what's your favourite beer? Guinness. Do you know in my younger days, yeah? I used to be, my background, yeah, long after I came out of the army, I retrained as a physiotherapist and I worked in football. And I worked at some clubs. I worked at Crew Alex, I've worked at Stoke City, yeah, Port Vale. You know what I mean? So I've worked in professional football as a physio. Not first team physio, assistant physio and youth team physios and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'll check me PayPal in a minute, mate. Give me a second. I'm telling a story. Jason's bullying me. Yeah. You have no power here. He's not in the room with me now. No, you know what? You'll be messaging the wife now. Yeah, if you're going to message your wife, Jace, let her know I need a brew. So, anyway. I completely got me off target then. I used to be a physio. Now, when you work in football, yeah, footballers like to drink. And I've never been a big, lager drinker or bitter drinker. I've always found them a bit too gassy, so I could never really keep up. Yeah, and so I used to drink Guinness, but I developed the skill of being able to nail a pint of Guinness in one. I can't do it anymore, but I could nail a pint of Guinness in one. And I always discovered that if it doesn't matter how many drinks the other guys are out having, if you can start your night by nailing a pint of Guinness in one, no one will ever question your ability to drink again. Isn't a beer, it's a stout. Well, it's what I drink. Take a peek at the Mantic YouTube. Right. Can you potentially do some urban legends about terrain making? Well, if people can throw urban legends at me, I'll test them. Hey, George. Right. I'm being bullied into checking PayPal. Yeah, people email me and all stuff. P-Works? What do they have to... Right. I don't know. Where's the target? Oh, the target's gone completely there. The target's gone completely. I don't even know. That says, no, there. 380. I can do that now. Yeah. Come on, do maths, boss. There you go. I think that's right. I'll leave that there. Actually, I can't. Yeah, I can't do that. You'll be noticed I'm playing around with the graphics at the bottom of the screen as well. Very good, very good. Right, our Odin. He has. Has he really? Did he really message you to tell me make me a brew? Oh, Jason Green.
And check your PayPal.
Yeah, I'm doing that now. Thank you. Don Jesse still here?
Yeah.
Right. So we've got a donation from our Odin. Thank you, buddy. He sent in a nugget. And David B. Just want to check if there's a message. Is there a message? Been watching your videos for a few weeks. I really like the simple, no-frills approach to sharing your knowledge and skills. All the best, Striking Hand. And thanks, buddy. Let's get Striking Hand on the screen. There you go. There we are, our stream heroes. Thank you, guys. It is appreciated. Yeah, he sent 10 nuggets, by the way, which brings us... That's 11. So right now, this is what I've got on this target. There we go. Remember, if you do send a little something during the show, you know, you do make me happy and it does help. Right. My brew will be coming shortly. Pardon? They're talking about dogs, not a woman. I'm going to have to start breaking another chunk off. Right. Actually, 3:30 according to the last vid. Ah! Right. See, we have someone who knows these things. There we go. Don't think that is right. I think it should be lower. Check with your account. I can't keep track of these things. Jace normally does this for me. Right. Thank you, my love. What was the weight of that giant Toblerone?
I need a week. 4.5 kilograms.
4.5 kilos. I'm down to 3 chunks. Oh. Shall we do some questions? Yeah, a kilo of Toblerone a week. No, dude, I didn't eat a kilo of Toblerone a week. I did give some of it away, and the kids have helped me, and Kerry's helped me. Ah. Wow, the email I sent you, Mal, I guess comes into play now. Did you send me an email? I get confused. New channel sponsor, Toblerone? I wish. Oh! Love the trench tutorial, great stuff. Might do some World War II stuff, give it a go. World War I stuff, give it a go. Nice one, dude. Having worked in football, who do you support? I'm a Man United fan myself. I don't support any of the main teams. I used to when I was a kid. Yeah, I used to support Crew. Having having worked in football, turned me off it, to be truthful. You know what I mean? You look at it at different eyes when you spend time with the players and that sort of stuff. And I can definitely say I've worked at some places, I've been some places where players don't give a damn about the game. All they give a damn about is getting their money, getting up to the edge and getting on the crystal. You know? Simple as. You know, it's like, you know, you got people who they don't have much money and they're paying quite a fair bit of money to watch you play. You should at least give a damn, considering how easy your job is. You know what I mean? Yeah, and so I got very jaded. So the only sort of football I really like is sort of the lower amateur stuff. Because those guys, they pay to play, they come out, they turn out, they've got day jobs, and then they turn out regularly. So they've got the passion. You know, you can see the passion on the field. Ah. Ah, right. Good night, God bless. Kitty's bedtime. Right. That was my phone. Can you do me a favour?
No.
Really?
No. Do you want me to take it or not?
Right.
Right, I'm gonna. Okay. It's like a bloody.
Right. We've got questions, haven't we? The big. That's bigger than one of my dogs. Should have seen it when it was full size, mate. Let's drop that over there. Right, questions. So, whether the form has been opened, we have 13 questions. Yeah, let's hit it. Is there a way to make your own flock? Yes, there is. There's a lot of different recipes, but it basically comes down to sawdust and paint. Okay. Now, generally, I don't make my own flock. I know how to. I have done in the past, yeah. Generally, I've not got brilliant results, and I've always had problems with it. Now, the only people who should really be considering making their own flock are commercial terrain builders, yeah. On my D-Day board, I use less than, I think, about £2 or £3 worth of flock, and I'm talking monetary pounds, yeah, not weight pounds. Yeah, so £2 or £3 worth of commercially bought flock on that 6x4. You know, I think the most I've ever used on an entire table was a tenner. Yeah, and on that basis, you know, yes, you can make your own flock, but it's never as good as the commercially bought stuff. You know, not from my experience. But then again, it wouldn't be. The commercially stuff is being made, you know, to a certain recipe with, you know, the right ingredients and that sort of stuff. So yes, you can make your own flock, yeah, but unless you're planning on being running a terrain business, I don't see the point. Right, let me try something. Let me move that to there so I can just see. No, not there, you git. this one back over here. Yeah, I'm getting good at this. Green tea is pretty good, right? Use coffee grounds to make flock. Yeah. When you went to see the fair, you could see the horror that you wanted more sandbags. Did my first batch of flock. Can't seem to find it in Romania. Find to buy it in Romania. Okay, well, yeah. I like to, you know, it's pretty available where I live, so alright, yeah. I can see him wanting to make flock if, you know, you what you call it, you couldn't commercially buy it. Etsy listing is making me go mad. Dude. Best make your own flock vid is from Viv on Rubbish In, Rubbish Out on YouTube. Viv does good vids. Or when he did. Right. Next question. Where can my buddy and I fly across the pond to play on your D-Day board for bolt action? Dude, are you really flying across the pond to play on my board? Well, if you do want to, you want to head for, what do you call it, Southport. Yeah? It's in Wargames UK in Southport. That's up near Liverpool. So you're probably going to want to fly into Manchester, I would have thought. I don't know where you're flying in from, but that's where it is. I'd reach out to Martin at Wargames UK if you're flying out that far. Yeah, to come play on that board. To make sure he's got it out and all, you know. I'd hate to think he's put it away or something like that. Do you play sandbags after the daz has hardened or while it's still malleable? While it's still malleable, mate, so I can shape it. Right. How would you recommend, what do you recommend the best way to paint a horde of 20 orc boys fast? I'm not a model painter, dude. I'll go with the stock answer. Army painter. Spray them, dip them. How many hours so far on the trenches? Difficult to say, in all honesty, because the film inside. A good week and a half's work gone into it solidly. Probably a bit more actually. We're going back fixing things and getting distracted at the start, the research. Really should have kept track of that. Hopefully not many more. I mean, generally, what you call it, I have full days on a Monday and a Thursday, so they're typically, you know, 10 to 12 hour days. There's been at least 7 of those. Couple of weeks worked wise. Did Fred stop? Stop what? Fred's doing well. He's recovering well after his operation, mate. Would you consider doing a tutorial on sci-fi terrain? Yes. Yeah, but we got to do the medieval stuff first. Right. How would make Gothic terrain? That's covered in the foam board playlist, mate. Go and have a look at the foam board playlist. Sorry, the Terrain Techniques, Urban Techniques video playlist. Yeah, it's all in there. 2.5 weeks and 400,000 sandbags later. I'm setting up a new workbench area. Any advice? Decide how much room you need and then double it. In all honesty, terrain building, you need room. Yeah. Keep your shelves and that sort of stuff directly around you completely clear. Yeah. Put all your tools slightly out of reach. And then see at the end of the projects what tools are regularly on your desk. And then use those tools to put them on the shelves. So the ones that you commonly use are there. I struggle with this, and quite often things that I commonly use are tucked away, and things that I don't use are taking prime place. You know what I mean? Where, you know, it'd be easy to get something from, and I've got something that I never get there. Right. Given the small area, would Dad's modelling putty be okay to use on 25mm, 30mm and 60mm bases, or is milliput better? Dad's does suffer from shrinking. Okay, so you've got to bear that in mind when you're applying it on plastic and on bases and that sort of stuff. Milliput would be better, yeah, but Dad's will work. Just wondering on what your opinion is on using DAS, maybe mixed with PVA for cobblestone roads on MDF bases. Any suggestions or tips? I'd probably go with green stuff. Get a green stuff roller for your cobblestones. I mean, if you mix DAS with PVA, it just gets a little bit sloppier. Okay, so you're not going to get cobblestones out of that. Yeah, and you're going to have to sculpt them on. I'd go for green stuff. And get yourself a green stuff roller, mate. It's alright making sandbags blue tack. Out of blue tack? I wouldn't. Blue tack has an oil in it to preserve like the plasticine, and the oil will reject all acrylic paint and that sort of stuff. So just don't avoid blue tack, mate. Just avoid it. Right. Mel, you're looking like I feel tired. I'm not tired, I'm just slouched and I'm staring at the screen, so I'm squinting, you know what I mean? Right. How many sandbags were there? Did you ever count? We worked it out about 380, Kerry reckons. Now's a good time for the kids to act up, or cares. Cheers, dude. How about a tutorial on constructing buildings from foam board? Foam board, Urban Techniques playlist, mate. There's about 27 in there. Oh, that's common practice, we all do. Finding each other and draws, yeah. Keep tools out of reach. Good idea. I do it all the time. I've got a lot of tools and that sort of stuff though, and I think the problem with me right now is when I reorganised the studio, I never quite finished sorting where things were going. I've sorted the shelves and I've got things roughly in the right place, but I never settled down and got it nailed, got everything finally sorted, and I need to do that. Yeah, and so I think I might do that on Monday. So just normally grumpy. Yeah. Yeah. Any tips on weathering metallic surfaces? Well, rust affecting you mean, or just general weathering? Mel, share any info on those shifting sands products? No, not really. Only just started putting them together. When I've got them together and had a play, then I'll share my thoughts. I'll figure out what they do. I'll figure out what that one does. Not sure on this one. Oh. Ah. And not a bad amount. We're all pretty close. Nice job, Kez. Gotta give her props. She did good. Sod turf roofs. Roofing. Yeah. If you want peat roofs, best stuff I've found for peat roofs is is Gale Force 9. I think it's marsh flock. It's like this bright, it's perfect, yeah, for peat roofs. You got any plans to do any terrain builds for the upcoming Star Wars Legion? Nope. Not unless Fantasy Flight give me the go ahead. Even in Aussie, nose to the ground as usual? Yeah. Yeah, I meant peat roofs. I've spent quite a lot of time recently researching roofs in in medieval times. What they were made of, what was common, what wasn't common. You know what I mean? So I quite like that about the terrain building side, because I have to do the tutorials. I always feel like, well, you should know a bit about it in real life as well, not just what you're trying to model. You know what I mean? So it forces me to go out and do a little bit more research than I normally would. Yeah, for just what I want to do. I quite like that, because I'm learning so much about castles. Just so much. I thought I knew a lot about castles. I knew bugger all about castles. Now I know loads about castles. I'm still learning about castles. Right. I'm going to we'll give it another 10 minutes and lock off the questions then. Let's see how many more we've got to do. My wife has an old plastic children's toy castle that she is going to paint and turn into a fairy garden with my daughter. Question is, what would you recommend to seal protect it? It will be outside in the back garden on sunny England. Thanks, Mal. You want an outdoor polyurethane varnish. Yeah, buy it from B&Q, brush on. But it'll make it perfect. The reason you want it outdoor is because the outdoor ones are geared for various temperature changes and UV light. Yeah, the polyurethane varnish will give it a nice hard coat. I'm not sure if they do a matte one. Okay, so you'll have to double check. Reason being is it's not something I've seen it, I know what it is, I haven't really used it, okay, because I don't do stuff to go outdoors, but that's what you're looking at, mate. Mal, what's your thoughts on foam flock to sawdust flock? Sawdust is finer, okay, a little bit more realistic. Foam flock, it's nice, it adheres better, you know, and it comes in better gradients. Why not both? Doing historical wargaming has taught me so much from doing research. Yeah. Kelp was a common coastal roofing material. It's a new one to me. I haven't heard kelp, but I can see it. I can see the logic behind that. Because, it's no different than used in thatch. I grew up by the coast. I grew up in Anglesey, okay? And Anglesey is North Wales. That's what I meant earlier when I said, I grew up playing in burial mounds. Literally, playing in burial mounds. Yeah. They didn't sort of control the grounds of these monuments that well when I was a kid. So, and there's loads of castles and stuff like that. Septic, thank you, buddy. He's done the super chat, but we love him anyway. He doesn't know. What? You're not having another brownie? Yeah. Non-yellowing, that's very important. Please record some videos of yourself playing on some games on the terrain you make. I never make enough terrain. I need to get back to my Burma build. Yeah. Sort of got confused with my Burma build and that sort of stuff, but I'll explain that in the next Burma build video. I will get Septic on this. Well, he's already on the screen, isn't he? But thank you, dude. It is appreciated, mate. It is. Right. Since we're talking about terrain labs, I painted sheets of clear cellophane with green acrylics, hoping to flip them over when it dries and pools and standing water. But it was all milky. I couldn't get it. What was with the acrylic paint? Sounds like you're thinner, it's separated and it needed a mix, mate, to be perfectly honest. Sounds like there wasn't enough pigment in your actual acrylic medium. Have you considered terrain for steampunk games such as Malifaux and In Her Majesty's Name? No. Goes back to an earlier comment, and a comment that keeps coming up. I don't make terrain for specific gaming systems, or I very rarely do. I try and make terrain as generic as possible, so you can use the tutorials and apply it to whatever you want to build. Okay, so with that sort of mentality, you know, I don't, you know, what's the difference between a cottage and a steampunk cottage? And pipes, a bit of brass, you know, there's very little technical change, do you know what I mean? What's the best way to make arch windows, frames and doorways, as well as functioning doors that open and close? Laser cut, mate. Yeah, most terrain builders I know, commercial terrain builders now, I know now, don't scratch build their windows or their doors. You know, they get them laser cut, the frames and that sort of stuff, and insert them in. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think you get better results. You know, you reduce your build time drastically. You know, I remember painting, the white lines to replicate the windows on the White House project for Mantic. Yeah. And looking back, I just should have found some bloody plastic, windows to throw over them. It would have saved me an absolute, a phenomenal amount of time. Your copy of Shadow Wars Armageddon, is it first or second edition? First has 119 pages. The reason I ask is trying to see what teams the terrain will cover. I don't know, mate. I don't actually know if it's first or second edition. How do I make corrugated iron in 15mm? Corrugated cardboard is too big. You can get different size corrugators. You can buy corrugated plastic from Plastruct, Evergreen and Will Scenics, to name a few. Or you can make a jig out of, out of 2 pieces of plastic card with cocktail sticks. And have them so that the cocktail sticks on one side fit in between the cocktail sticks on the other side neatly. And you can put foil in between them and press them. Yeah, and that is the last of the questions, so I'm going to lock that off now. Haha! If you've got another question, get it in the comments. Mel needs to sit up. His bum's getting numb. Oh, there we go. There we are. What are you looking at, Oz? What? What? Come here. Come on then. Watch me knee. What you got there? What's that? Is that your ball? Come here. See you later, Dave. Mel, do you know any laser cut styling type, rune type kits? Funnily enough, I do. In fact, I've got a massive box of them turning up tomorrow from Foreground. This is what you want. This. What are you doing? What you doing? What? Hey, you calm down. Sit. Leave it. What? Where's it gone? Have you had it? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? Where's it gone? I've not got it. Has Mum got it? Go see if Mum's got it. Has Mila got it? Who's that your ball? Which ball? I've not got it. Oh. Go on. Tell you what, ever since we took him to the vets a few years ago, he loves finding new balls.
Is Mila alright in there with him?
Well, depends if she tries and gets his ball.
He's got the ball and
Oh, she's left. There you are. No, there's a new dog. The new little dog is Mila. We've got friends over and they brought the rat with them. Catch you later, end of visual. What is the best kind of British tea? I don't know, I drink coffee. I haven't drunk tea in years. Laser cut windows, doors, frames, templates, or the actual ones. War bases, or war mill or war bases do with doors and windows. A chew toy. I know. It's like a rat. He's missing his old ones. He is Gregory, he is. No, you're a fan of them. Have you used hardboard as an upgrade? Otherwise tested the material. Hardboard's fine. The main reason I don't use hardboard is because when you step up to hardboard, you pretty much are entering the world of power tools. Yeah, MDF you can still get away with hand tools with, you know what I mean? You can shape it, that sort of stuff. So I tend to avoid it, but it is a better material. You know, 12-hour shift? That's a good shift, mate. Mel, before we lose too many, what's the schedule for this week? Tuesday, yeah, you were going to be having a talkie video. Yeah, now you'll be having a shapy form 1, 2, 3 block video. I have no idea what I'm going to call it. Yeah, but I'll take you through how to do that because I'd rather share a terrain technique. I won't submit it to Patreon, yeah, for patron support because it's only a couple of hours work, you know what I mean? Yeah, so it's a bit overkill to submit to Patreon for just a couple of hours work. Yeah, but it's terrain rather than a talkie. Well, it's terrain tools. And then, what do you call it? Thursday, we'll be live in the studio. Kez will probably be with me. Yeah. I'm not sure whether to change the Saturday video to a Friday video. Yeah, if I change it to a Friday video, I won't have the trenches done in time, so they'll probably be next Tuesday. So I don't know what you'll be getting Friday or what you call it, or Saturday. I'll be glad when I'm caught up. Yeah, at the minute I'm spending time doing the medieval series, so I'm actually ahead with that. You know what I mean? So it doesn't start then stop and jutter and that sort of stuff. Yeah, but it just means that because I'm working on other terrain videos that I'm not releasing right now. You know what I mean? It's a bit... All the money going back into bot action. Quarter-inch hardboard loves to warp. Depends how you treat it. I mean, technically, hardboard is a lot more sturdier than MDF. Yeah, so if you can work with MDF, you should be able to work with hardboard warp-wise. Watching you put some MDF kits together would be interesting. Go watch the live show archives, mate. There's plenty in there. Cool on the medieval series, Mel. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thought we had a child. So yeah, that's the plan for next week, I think, to be perfectly honest. I'm trying to finish the trenches off. Now, I want to go in, I've got some small detailing to do. Yeah, and so I've got a job to do on them on, a full day on Monday. Tuesday I need to go in and sort base coat inside, stuff like that, treat the warp in. Yeah. Wednesday go in, base coat the top. Yeah, which technically leaves me Thursday, Friday to get it base sealed. So I don't think it's going to be dry in time for a video on Saturday. I don't think we'll have the project wound up. So I'll probably be in on Monday filming that for Tuesday. So it's probably going to be a talky video unless I release something else on Friday, Saturday, guys. But yeah, that's where I've been going. Party time! Oh, Jace is in the studio as well. Oh, Kez and Jace in the studio. Oh, God, they're going to be bullying me. Yeah. On the castles. I'm not gonna ask you to go bully Shady Versity for me and ask him to do a collab with me, because that's not on. Yeah. Because I like the channel. Yeah. But I'd love to do some Star Wars stuff. So if you can go bully FFG, or if there's anyone who's got any contacts in FFG, yeah, because their marketing department don't answer its emails and their legal department don't answer its emails. Which, considering I'm wanting to make terrain tutorials to advance, which can only benefit that. English breakfast, it made me a believer back at Tankfest 2016. Ed, where's the best place to buy packs, tubs of flock? Woodland Scenic, Scenic Express, Knock, Jarvis. Look for the railway suppliers. Don't go for wargame suppliers for flock and that sort of stuff. More candy bars. Yeah. It's blue ribbon. I love blue ribbons. So, that's the battle plan. Just let me have a good stretch. Yes, folks, that's the battle plan for what you call this coming week. I'm going to be working on the trenches. I'm working on the forms. I'm working on the medieval background stuff. Yeah. Yeah, let me show you some of the stuff I've got. Oh, give me a second, guys. Tis back. Right. So, yeah. We've got Le Teddy Bear Fur. 10mm pile. I think that's the rating for it. Yeah. So, Thatch and Fields. I've got a different one there. Much longer, but quite dark brown. Yeah. Then I spotted this. I think we're going to be on a winner with this. Hemp matting. Yeah. Got on eBay, on Amazon. But look at the texture. Yeah. And then look how it comes. It's literally like a mat roll of the stuff. I've got a blade here. A blade's in there. Can I open it that way? Yeah, I can. Oh man! Oh. Gonna have to have a bit of a play with it first, but if that doesn't say thatched roofs, that's going to give some really nice thick thatch as well. You'll just be able to layer it on, trim it with... Have I got any clippers? Corbin had them. What did he do with them? God knows. But yeah, loads of interesting stuff. I wanted to see Mel pull out a broadsword to open the mail. Broadsword's in the whatchamacallit, in the studio. Such a boy. First thing you do is smell it. Says run over rabbits, to be honest. Right, like that is it. Right, we've had no more PayPals and I am going to call it now. Yeah, we've got plenty coming, guys and gals and folks. Yeah, right, Tuesday you're probably going to have that form video. It'll be a simple one, but I'll show you how I'm doing it and the techniques I apply. Yeah, and then, you know, if it helps someone, it helps someone. I won't be putting it through Patreon because, like I say, I don't think it's worth Patreon support because it's only a couple of hours to make. Yeah, I'm going to be cracking on with the trenches, yeah, which reminds me I need to take those barrels in with me. I'm working on the medieval, but you're not going to see that until sort of late February. I've got the stuff from Shifting Sands to play with. I've got stuff from Foreground coming. I've got those coming. So, whereas the tail end of last year was very much quite a lot of talky terrain and just dabbling, we're full bore into it. Full bore. So, with that in mind, Mel needs his beauty sleep because Mel needs to have a shave because he's a scruffy bugger. Yeah, and I'll see you. I'll see you on Tuesday and I'll catch you live on Thursday, 7:30 UK time. Catch you later, folks. Ta.